Is a 15-year-old Volkswagen Touareg, or do you say Touareg, as good off-road as a brand new Jeep Wrangler Rubicon? Well, I've got a key to the Rubicon. All I need is somebody to drive it, and that would be Tommy.
Hey.
So Tommy, let's take these up one of the highest trails here in Colorado, Red Cone.
Yep, that's right. So in this video, we're gonna put these two head to head, compare them off-road, see which one is better. You know, off-road, these two vehicles could not be more different. 4-cylinder turbocharged engine in the Jeep, naturally aspirated V8 in the Touareg. Body-on-frame construction, unibody construction, solid axles, independent suspension. But there is one thing that is exactly the same between the two.
They both have BFG KO2s. Now, of course, this one comes from the factory. We put some on the Touareg. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking to yourself, that's not fair. That is an on-road car, and this is a pure and hardcore off-roader. And you're right about that. Not only can you lock all 3 differentials on the Jeep, but you also have disconnectable sway bars. Well, you have everything that you'd want in an off-roader. But I think the Touareg will surprise.
Yeah, that's right, because this particular Volkswagen has a few tricks up its sleeve, including air suspension that will raise this vehicle to 13 inches of ground clearance as equipped, which is, it's actually more than that Wrangler. Plus, we have a center differential lock and a rear differential lock. This thing is going to be an absolute monster off-road. Well, it will be on paper. Let's see what it's like in the real world.
So Tommy, I think you should go first, and that way I can see if this Touareg can go where the Wrangler goes.
I'm going to start in 4 mode.
The trailhead, which is a little bit of a different procedure on the Jeep than it is on the Volkswagen.
Yeah, all I need to do is flick a switch over. It's that easy.
Yeah, I got to move a lever like a man.
You know, the true test of a man isn't how he moves the lever, but really how big his lever is.
Yeah, and I've got the bigger lever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, that was a stupid analogy.
All right, so the trail is gonna get steep from here on out, so I think it's time to put it into 4-wheel drive low. Now to do that on the Wrangler, got 2 high, 4 high, then into neutral, down into 2nd neutral, and then down into 4 low. That disables auto park, that disables the start stop system on the Jeep, that disables the electronic stability control, and now I think we're ready to climb.
All right, let's get this bad boy into off-road mode. Put in neutral, twist this knob into low range. There we go, low range. Then I'm gonna twist it one more to lock my center diff, and then of course one more to lock my rear diff. And we are all ready to go. All right, so I'm air down, but there are a couple concerns that I have driving this vehicle. Number one, I don't really have any underbody cladding. So the Wrangler Rubicon, of course, has all of its vitals protected from pointy rocks. The good thing about this Volkswagen is that everything is tucked in underneath, but you could puncture something important like a fuel tank. I don't even want to think about it. The other bad thing about this vehicle is it's heavy. I don't know, I think Tommy has like 4 airbags. I've got like 80. The cool thing about this car, which you can't say about the Wrangler, is this has the ultimate wide usage band. What I mean by that is it's really hard to make a car both good on-road and off-road. And this car was Volkswagen's moonshot, or maybe the Phaeton, but this was also it. And so they actually designed a car that can be driven on the Autobahn at, let's say, 150 miles an hour, and at the same time can be used off-road like a Wrangler. And that is cool.
I don't think you want to go this way. Can you back up? We want to stay to the right.
Tommy, that was the first hard part, and you made it look easy. Touareg had to work a little bit, but the real hard part is still coming up.
Yeah.
So I would say right now, I'm gonna give it an advantage Wrangler, but we'll see when it gets really hard.
But have you hit anything underneath?
No.
The higher we go, the steeper it gets, the rockier it gets. So far, the Touareg has been hanging in there pretty well. The Wrangler's just been killing it. I've been alternating between rear diff unlocked and locked, depending on the situation, but it's just crawling up everything we can throw at it.
So Tommy, this is the gatekeeper basically.
Yep.
The problem is you can't go over this rock.
It's huge.
You can't straddle this one.
No.
So you gotta put a wheel on it.
Yep.
One wheel there, one wheel there. Come over the top. And then over here, coming over this one.
You can see where people hit.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be a time for your extra suspension setting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in the Jeep, I'm just going to rely on the sliders.
All right, come on up, dude.
Show me how it's done.
All right, for this one, low range, I'm going to lock both the front and the rear diff because I have them. Why not use them? Sway bar disconnected. Just going to crawl my way up it. Hopefully, don't damage our $51,000 Wrangler. $51,000, by the way, in case you didn't get that.
This is where a dedicated off-roader is so nice to have, because you know, with off-roading it doesn't go like from 1 to 2 to 3, it just goes from 1 to 10 in terms of how difficult it is.
All right, Tommy, line up on me a little bit to your passenger. There you go, passenger, passenger, passenger.
Back up a little bit. Okay, a little bit passenger. All right, nice and steady. You're lined up. A little bit driver, a little driver. You're lined up perfectly. Okay, come up and over. Nice. A little passenger, just a tad passenger. You're gonna go down. Okay, up and over. You make it look easy, Tommy.
Here are your rock rails. That's where you're gonna hit if you're gonna hit. That. So easy.
Straight ahead. Slow.
Slow. You got it. That solid axle's really doing you proud.
This is where a solid axle is nice too, because one wheel will always be on the ground. It's like a teeter-totter, right? Whereas with independent suspension, you can get one hung up in the air, which is what I'm worried about.
Okay, we made it up. Do you have it in the extra high mode?
I'm putting it in extra high mode.
Extra high level selected, it says. Let me show you. You know, this is where underbody cladding would be really great, and that's where the Wrangler excels.
Touareg is supposed to have 11.81 inches of ground clearance, but because we have a tire that's about 3 inches taller in diameter, it's closer to about 13 inches. So more actual ground clearance than the Wrangler, or at least so Volkswagen says, but less articulation when an extra. So,
all right, dude, please be so kind as to
Show me the way.
yep, you're going the perfect route.
Coming up.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit nervous.
I'm backing up here. Go a little bit to your passenger. You got your wheel stuck in the big rock. Get up.
Okay, there we go. And of course, disconnectable sway bars would be nice.
In extra setting, that thing is on its tippy toes. That looks absolutely crazy. Yep, perfect line.
And so would
Perfect line.
a front locker. Here we go.
Call it up nice and slow.
Listen for the crunch.
Just come a little bit more passenger.
That is when you need that front diff lock. Look how high the tire is in the air. You're doing great though, nice and slow. Okay, it's gonna come down.
There you go. Let me see how you're doing that ground clearance. Oh,
You're gonna make it.
I'm listening for that crunch. No crunch?
Yeah.
Figured it out. Come on.
Oh, right, that was awesome.
Oh God, that was a little scary.
So to be totally honest, that front locker really did help me out in that situation. Now, the Volkswagen was available with a front locker, but not here in the US, so only rear locker and center in the US.
I'm just happy that this thing has extra ground clearance, because without it, it would have been, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I know you guys hate it, but butt punchy. There you go.
This Jeep Wrangler is equipped with the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and when this engine came out, the Jeep purists kind of lost it, because a turbocharger in a Jeep from the factory, how can that be? But I'm here to tell you that with 295 pound-feet of torque and these 410 gears, this Jeep just climbs and crawls over just about everything. It does sound like a sewing machine, or a Dyson as I like to say, but it does just crawl over anything you throw at it, which is pretty great. I have no doubt that actually, given a difficult rock crawl situation, the Wrangler would go further than that Touareg. I mean, it's got skid plates, first of all, which the Touareg really doesn't. And the solid axles allow the most possible grip when you're articulated. But I will say that kind of on this smoother stuff, the solid axles, they're a little bit firm, and they cause the vehicle to kind of bounce and jostle around, with independent on the Touareg kind of just absorb them as they come, which is a really kind of underrated thing when you're off-road. I mean, yes, you do spend quite a bit of time, you know, flexing and rock crawling, but you also spend a lot of time just kind of putting along on rocky dirt roads, and that's where the independent with the air really comes in.
There are two things that are allowing me to keep up with Tommy in that really off-road worthy Ruby, and that is, number one, if you look here, we're really aired down, giving me a big tire patch, allowing me to actually maintain traction, even though this is a much heavier vehicle and I don't have a locking front diff and I don't have solid axles. The other thing that is allowing me to keep up with Tommy is right here. Let me show you. You see this? That's just pinstriping. And the thing that's allowing me to keep up with him is that this is a $4,600 used car, and I really don't care that it might be getting a little scratched or a little damaged. So airing down and not having an expensive car allows you to keep up with a Ruby. That's the secret. Don't tell Tommy.
Okay, number 9. That was great. From what I'm understanding.
What do I do with that big pointy rock straight ahead?
With the 6-point rock. Oh, we'll figure it out. Nice and slow. There you go. Nice and done. Okay, nice and slow.
I'm trying to go slow.
Okay. And stop. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, cut the wheel hard to your driver. Perfectly done. And we're going to crawl over the big pointy rock. If we can. Hopefully we can. Yep. Just like that. That was perfect.
It really helps to have a spotter, because I can't obviously see around me.
Here's the enough clearance. Okay. Yep. Great. You tried it. A little bit more throttle your own. Okay, stop. Back it up. You have maybe 3 inches. And stop. Okay, now give it just a little bit of a bump. Okay. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
The Wrangler made that look easy, and I'm working my butt off here.
So what this has done a great job of demonstrating is just the sheer amount of weight the Touareg is hauling up this hill. I mean, it's got the grip, we're aired down nice and low, but it's the lack of front locker a little bit, but mostly just the sheer mass.
But at some point, you're gonna run into the fact that this still has suspension made for the street. Oh, I just hit there. Cladding made for the street, and no underbody protection. So maybe that's the next thing we do, huh? Get some underbody protection.
Just like that. Perfect line. Perfect line. super slow, super slow. Come over to your driver.
I'm gonna hit a tree. Tommy, if I go any more driver, I'm gonna hit a tree. I'm gonna hit that tree.
You are many inches away from the tree.
Many inches. Yeah, many inches, great. All it takes is it to slide many inches and we're in the tree.
Okay, nice and slow. Yeah, we are out of clearance, so we're gonna make it. All around up. Ooh, that's actually better than. Stop. Oh man, that was not good. Try backing up. Okay, stop there.
That was a rocker panel we just did. Any damage?
No damage.
You know, the Wrangler made this look like nothing. It just went bloop, 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 bloop.
I want you to go maybe 5 inches this way. 5 inches toward me. Okay, that's a little bit of problem. Nice and slow, please. Okay. Yeah, back it up.
How about just momentum, Tommy?
Well, we're gonna hit the bottom pretty hard.
Well,
We can try it.
I mean, yeah, I think a little bit of momentum.
Go for it. Hey,
That's what I was talking about, dude. Remember? I said the tree.
roll it nice and slow.
How bad is it?
It's just a mirror cap.
Okay. Is it cracked?
Yeah. Yep. You're gonna clear over here.
All right. Well, let's go see the let's go survey the damage, huh? Yeah. That's,
Off-roady now.
it's off-roady. Let's see if it still works. Click the switch. Hey, it even works still. You know,
German engineering.
yeah, you know what, Tommy? I think a little bit of super glue
Yep.
and we'll be okay.
I think the mirror itself is fine. It's the cap that's all.
Yeah, the cap that's all
Wobbly.
hosed up. A little bit of super glue. Well, there we go. You know, and that's the other great thing about a Wrangler. Because it's designed to go off-road, it's got plastic bumpers, and most people actually replace them with metal bumpers. It's got basically bits that can break off and aren't expensive to put back on. There's a huge aftermarket community for it. This, on the other hand, you know, I can imagine this being a $400 part at the Volkswagen dealership.
Well, as we get closer to the top, I think it's fair to say we were wrong when we said the Touareg is as capable as a Wrangler. At least with this JL. At least with the Rubicon, it's not. I mean, you don't have the underbody protection, you don't have the front locker, you don't have the articulation, but then again, it was never designed to compete with the Wrangler. I think compared to a Grand Cherokee, it would give it a run for its money. A couple other funny things to notice about the Wrangler off-road, though, is the fan. What is going on out there? You could drive this near a forest fire and put it out, I think. That's how much air it outputs. I mean, it really is an incredible amount of noise. It's kind of like Boeing's operating a 747 3 feet from the passenger space.
We're almost to the top. What does the Jeep say? How high have we driven?
According to the GPS of the Jeep, it says we are at 12,779. Now it's going to say 12,782. We're going up and up and up. I mean, we just keep climbing.
You know, we are climbing on this ridge line and there's nothing on either side of us but a sheer fall. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty frightening.
And, you know, I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed by how well the Jeep did.
I'm really impressed by how well the Touareg did too, though. I mean, this is a vehicle that's more well known for shuttling kids to school and shuttling kids to the top of literal mountains. I mean, look at where we are right now.
Tommy, I mean, this is what it's all about, right? Taking a vehicle that does 155 on the Autobahn and driving it to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Now, of course, the Touareg wasn't as good as the Wrangler out here. It just doesn't have the underbody protection, but I mean, still, look where it took us.
Yeah, we certainly found the limit of the Touareg, at least I did. But the Wrangler didn't sweat, what, 50% of its ability?
Yeah, it's got more to give, but we have one more huge test. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, and it is super steep, so I'm gonna say it again. This might be a little butt clenchy, but let's go down the hill and see how they both do.
Yep.
All right, Tommy, I think you should go down first because this is so steep.
Steep, the Touareg may not be able to stop.
Yeah, for sure. So
What I'm going to do is low range, probably lock to this, just in case, and then first gear, and maybe I'll do hill descent control to see how it works.
All right, I'll go manual downhill, put it in first, and hopefully the hill descent control will help.
Hopefully my big toe will do the rest, but this is so heavy. It's a good thing we are down. I'm gonna need it now.
Good thing.
hill descent on. Well, actually, that isn't even too slow. That's pretty impressive. 22 degrees, rear diff is locked.
With my hill descent control, I can set the speed to exactly what I want. So I'm at 1.8 miles an hour right now. Foot off the brake, just letting it crawl, and then plenty of traction too, even on this loose shale. Heck, I might even go to 1.9.
It's always hard to see how steep something is on camera, but maybe that perspective of the terrain just like whoop gives you a sense.
No grip here, so I'm gonna get down.
Whoa! 23, 25! Ah!
You actually stop or want to stop?
No, I got brakes left. I'm not even touching them.
I've got hill descent control activated. It's holding it. And that's why red cone is a one-way. You wouldn't want somebody else coming up this way when you're going down. Yeah, Touareg's doing good. Hill descent control's holding it. I'm impressed. Here we come up on the steep part. Oh, I'm sliding, I'm sliding, I'm sliding, sliding. Caught it.
All right, now to do the part that gives this trail its name, the red cone portion. So, into first gear again. This is where you're gonna have to hold on just a wee bit, lads. 21, 22, 24. Cool. There it is, there it is. Oh, come on, grip. Keep gripping, engine, do your thing. Yeah, I actually prefer just engine braking, rear diff lock on over using the hill descent control, even though it gives you probably more control. I just prefer the old school method a little bit more. Engine is revving to 5K though, it's so steep. And relax, because we are down.
And this is where off-road tires really come into their own. If I had street tires here, we would be on our way to Off-Road Express. I'm sliding, sliding, back is sliding, just a little bit, caught it. I'm not a big fan of hill descent control, but here, oh my, it's certainly worth it. And actually ABS makes things worse here. You want the vehicle to lock up and get rocks and dirt under the front wheels. You want those locked up. You don't want them doing that across the top. But I think we're gonna make it. So thanks for watching. Remember, check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real world Jeep, Wrangler, Rubicon versus Volkswagen, I'm gonna say it the European way, Touareg off-road reviews. See you guys next time. Ciao.